Oh hey, I didn't see you. What's up guys, it's AceStarThe3rd and thank you so much for watching. And today, on this beautiful, amazing day, I'm going to bring you guys an awesome 3rd gen Wi-Fi battle versus someone by the name of Too Quick For You. This battle was just weird because this team was supposed to be something completely different, but then I didn't want to, and then it turned out to be just a mess of a team. But it actually was a pretty good battle, so I hope you guys enjoy this amazing 3rd gen battle. So, before we get into it though, I ask you guys to please be sure to go in the description and check out something called Dat Question. Basically, it's a question I ask to get your guys' opinions on things because you guys all have different opinions about certain things and no one know what they are. So please be sure to answer it in the comments below, but only answer it if you have the time to. So if you look at this team was supposed to be a Sun team, and you're probably like, AceStarThe3rd, what drugs are you on? Because this is definitely not a Sun team, and it's just not. It just happened to be almost Sun team. Let's just say that. But it turned out to be a kind of mixed, balance-ish kind of team, but it actually is kind of good when you look at all the defensive synergy it has going on. That Rhydon is choice banded, that Moltres is substitute attacking with Toxic. Cloyster for rapid spinning, I have Jirachi because it's the steel type, because I really needed a steel type last battle and I didn't have one, so now I have one, and it has Wish. Swampert for always having something to stop dragon dancing Pokemon, and Snorlax because Snorlax ceases to never not be in one of my OU battles ever. So, outside of this, I hope you guys enjoy this amazing 3rd gen battle. Please be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video, and let's go. Okay, so it's like a phenomenal looking day, right? And I'm like, okay, let me check the weather since it's spring, see what's going on. And I look, and it's gonna be snowing in 2 days, so I'm like, Mother Nature, I don't know what you're doing. It's not my fault that nobody got you anything for Valentine's Day, but you shouldn't be taking out, what is, ooh, anyway, he's gonna be leading off with the Swampert. I'm gonna lead off my Cloyster. I'm gonna lead off some Spikes as he just fades me out into my Snorlax, which is pretty fantastic because it's just like, hey, everyone already knows I have a Snorlax on my OU teams anyway, so I'm fine with that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with my body and be able to get off a paralyzation onto this Metagross, which is very fantastic for me because now this thing is going to be slower than my Snorlax, so if need be, I'll be able to go for a Earthquake and possibly kill this thing if it takes a little bit more damage than it has right now. So I'm gonna go into my Jirachi. I figured he was gonna go for an not even an explosion, but probably a Meteor Mash too. Yeah, I could have taken either of those, but he gets Parahax, so I'm gonna predict him to go for an Earthquake, so that's why I go out into this flying fiery bird. So I'm going to get off a powerful, powerful Flamethrower versus this Vaporeon. Vaporeon is actually just not going to like that very much. I figured he was going to do a lot less than that, but it actually did quite a bit. I'm now going to be a little bit reckless here and then go for a Toxic onto this Vaporeon. You're probably like, Ace, that was a little bit reckless. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing too much. That was not even necessary. However, it was, because nothing else on my team, I do believe, has Toxic. And with Toxic on a Vaporeon, it's actually one of the most detrimental things that could possibly happen to it, because all of Vaporeon's ways of getting health, except if it's through Water Absorb, are dependent on passing turns. So with Protect, with Leftovers, and with Wish are how it gets back its HP. And if you hinder that with Toxic, this thing is essentially out of commission very quickly. So now I go into my Jirachi because I figure he's going to go for a Toxic or for a Wish. He goes ahead and just goes for a Surf, which I'm fine with because I have a bunch of special defense anyway. So I'm going to be off a Calm Mind versus this Swampert. I know he's going to worm me out again, so that's why I'm just going to stay in and go for a Psychic. He probably was, and assuming that I was going to go ahead and switch out, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Not that early. I mean, no. Not now. So I'm going to get off with Psychic. It's not going to do enough to the point where my Breaking Boss, my Rhydon, can come in and KO with Earthquake. If he had done a little bit more damage with that Psychic and was like 50 or so percent, I actually could have KO'd. But it was at that point where it's just like, I'm not going to risk it because it's my Rhydon and it is so powerful. It's a bit too powerful. So I didn't want to risk it dying so quickly, which is why I didn't go for the Earthquake. So I'm going to go ahead and go out into my Cloyster. I knew he was probably going to go for a Surf and try to KO me, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. I just go ahead and go for an Ice Beam, not for Spikes, because like I said, he was going to worm me out again anyway. And if I do go out into my Breaking Boss, I wanted to go ahead and be at a point where I could KO him with an Earthquake. But unfortunately, he's going to not do that. He's going to predict my switch right back out to my Cloyster, and then he's going to go out into his Celebi. I'm sitting here like, excuse me, can we talk? Because this is a mess. You know I don't like grass types. You know I don't like grass types because you know I have a base 45 base special defensive stat. What do you think you're doing? So I'm going to head and switch right back out into Moltres because Moltres is like, yo, look at that face. It's like, yo, I heard you've been messing with my boy Cloyster. I don't like that whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Flamethrower because I know that coming from a 125 base special attack stat, And with Stab, Moltres is not playing around, not with no Celebi. So I'm going to be able to get off a nice and powerful amount of damage versus this Vaporeon, to the point where I'm sure that he's going to go for a Wish. Knowing that, I'm not going to do anything reckless here. I'm just going to stay in, go for a safe hidden power Grass, not for a substitute, because I could have revealed that. However, I didn't want to be behind one yet, because there's actually no reason for me to be behind one yet, because I don't know what the rest of the things on his team are. So I'm going to go ahead and go for an HP Grass. It's not going to KO him. It's going to be extremely close to doing so, but no. And it kind of sucks because I wanted him to be KO'd now, just so I could get a safe switch, but it did not work out the right way, and it sucks. So I knew he was going to go for a Protect, so taking that opportunity, I'm not going to stay in and just do nothing. So I had to go for a substitute, essentially, because I didn't want any wasted turns. So he's going to get his Wish off, and it's going to give him a lot more health. But it's still at the point where the next time he comes in, he's still going to have to go for a Wish, because if he doesn't, then he's going to be KO'd very, very quickly. So now I'm going to be going ahead, being safe behind my substitute. I'm going to go for a Toxic. Yes, I do for a Toxic. Yeah. Predicting he was going to go switch out into something else, probably like his Swampert or whatever. I did go for a Toxic. I didn't want to go for HP Grass or for a Flamethrower, because I knew that, seeing as those are the only two attacking moves I have and that he knows about, he's probably not going to switch out into not into anything that can take those, or that can take them quite effectively. So that's why I figured he's going to go out into something like his Salamence. So his Salamence is going to stay in. It's going to go for an HP Flying. It's going to do a lot of damage to my substitute, to the point where it's going to get taken out. I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower because I'm right behind the substitute anyway. There's nothing to be afraid of at that point. I just want to get off a little bit of damage. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Cloyster. I guess he predicted that, and then he double switches out into his Vaporeon, knowing that if he does stay in and I go for an Ice Beam, it's not going to KO him. He's going to be able to get off a Wish anyway. So, but like I said, this thing is toxic, so he's going to be completely reliant on him having passing turns, which means toxic damage is going to rack up very quickly. And with me setting out spikes, I'm making it extremely, extremely difficult for him to function right now. Like, the pressure is real. It's real. Like, I can't believe it's not brother real. So he's gonna go for his own Toxic. I'm sitting here like, oh my god, that is detrimental. I didn't think you were gonna do that. I thought you were just gonna go for Protect or something. But now that my Cloyster is Toxic, its usefulness drops significantly, because I need something to stop that Salamence. And if that Salamence gets to set up maybe +1 or so Dragon Dances, and it goes for a Rock Slide and I get paralyzed, I know that at this point, now that I'm Toxic, I can't live too. Not to say that, you know, I'd get Parahacks or anything, because that's never happened before in my battles, but, you know. So I'm going to go out into my Swampert, knowing that he's probably going to switch on to something like his Metagross or some other Pokemon that can take an Ice Beam. I go ahead and go for an Earthquake, predicting that correctly. He could have just went out to his Vaporeon at that point anyway, but I guess he didn't want to do that. I guess he just wanted to fight her off this thing, and maybe he thought I was going to over-predict or something. But anyway, he's going to go out into his Heart, which is a very, very, very clever reference to Regice's very cold negative 300 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit degrees body temperature. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go for a War as he goes for an Ice Beam. It does a ton of damage for absolutely no reason. I'm sitting here like, excuse me, Regice, no one even uses you that much anymore. What do you think you're doing? So now I'm gonna War him out after taking a phenomenal amount of damage, and I'm just going to keep on going for wars and wars and wars and wars over and over and over again, because I figure at this point that because nothing that he's going into was actually that much of a threat, then I'm going to go ahead and do that safely, and plus it's going to rack up a lot of spikes damage, which in the long run is extremely, extremely vital for anyone's team. So I'm going to switch out because I don't want to take another stupid-ass Ice Beam. I'm going to go into my Cloyster. I figured at this point he was actually going to go out for, or I'm sorry, he's going to go for a Thunderbolt, so I'm sitting here like, okay, let's just double switch out and go into something that can take a Thunderbolt, right? It's like, okay, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. I don't know, it's okay. And I do, fortunately enough, do predict that correctly, yes. So I figured that he was going to stay in, thinking that I was going to be slower than him, because Rhydon does have 5 base speed less than Regice. However, I do have some speed investment for things exactly like this. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. So anyway, I'm going to go out as he's going to go out into his Celebi, I'm figuring that he doesn't have Giga Drain. However, at this point, I don't necessarily really want to risk it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch right back out into Life because I know that Life can take a Grass type attack if he wants to go for it. So I figured at this point that he wasn't going to be like extremely reckless at this point. So I figured he was actually going to stay in. I mean, because looking at his team and the fact that I have so many layers of spikes up, he really just cannot afford to keep on switching out over and over and over again. So I figured he was just gonna go for more Calm Minds or something, but he just goes for a Psychic, and I'm sitting here like, okay, that's cool too. I mean, that I'm completely fine with you being extremely reckless because it's you, it's not me. So at this point, I do believe I go for a Flamethrower, yes. And this is the point where I'm kind of surprised because I figured that he would have been bold, but he seems to be calm, because if he wasn't calm, that would have did so much more damage. But I'm gonna lose my Moltres, unfortunately. It's gonna be gone, which kind of sucks, but I guess it doesn't suck also because at this point, Moltres did exactly what he needed to do, which was get off the Toxic on the Vaporeon. Otherwise, everything is good at this point. So I figured that he was actually going to switch out, which is why I went for a Double Edge. I could have just went for a Megahorn. I honestly could have, but I didn't do that because I thought he was just going to switch. But he didn't switch. So anyway, Breaking Boss needs to switch right back out into Perception because Perception can easily go ahead and take a Psychic, but then he predicts that with expertise and goes for a Recover. So I'm sitting here like, oh no. So Perception honestly is gonna have a little bit of a problem here because I can't really touch him. So I'm just gonna go for a Wish at this point because I want to get Wishes off and see what he was gonna do. If he set up more Calm Minds, I could have just, you know, went right back out into my my Rhydon and hopefully taken a Psychic and be able to get off a nice and powerful choice band and boosted Megahorn. So, I mean, he's going to go out into his Swampert. I'm sitting like, okay, no one even cares that much. So I'm going to go ahead and go out into Falsetto because, you know, if he goes for whatever he wants to go for, I can easily just go ahead and take it. But he roars me right back out into Breaking Boss, and then I do get off a nice and powerful Wish. So I'm sitting here like, praise the Lord. And it's pretty fantastic for me because now I'm at a point where I can easily take out this stupid Swampert and it's not going to be an issue anymore. So yes, that is the story of how the Swampert finally got KO'd. Oh my goodness gracious. So he's going to bring in his Salamence now. I'm sitting here like, okay, why did you do that? You're not gonna live. So I go ahead and switch right back out into my Cloyster because I mean I thought that was fishy. I was like, okay. So he goes ahead and goes for a Rock Slide, which like I said, if you set up another one or a Dragon Dance, I couldn't have lived because of this stupid Toxic. But I guess stupid, so Toxic. But it's pretty awesome for me because I do go ahead and live it. I didn't think I was. I honestly thought I was going to be dead at that point. But I go ahead and live it, and I do get off an Explosion. So I just die, and he dies too. So I'm not even having a problem with that. I'm good with that. So anyway, I'm going to go out into my Snorlax. At this point, I knew that he doesn't have anything else that Snorlax can't take care of. So I'm going to go ahead and set up some Shadow Balls. I can't even set up Shadow Balls, but you know what I mean. I go for Shadow Balls because they're super effective, and I figured that this thing was just going to go ahead and give up and not keep on going for Recover, and you know, Recover stalling me. And plus, I figured he didn't have that much defense investment because that Flamethrower from a Moltres earlier did nothing. So I'm sitting here like, okay, we'll just keep on going for Shadow Balls. I don't have a problem with this. This is just fine. I mean, I'll just keep Shadow Balling. And then the second one doesn't even KO. So at this point, Snorlax is actually kind of irritated, and I'm getting kind of irritated too. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I don't even care that much anymore because you want to be ridiculous. So I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball this turn, and next turn, since you just want to be a mess, we'll just go ahead and end it for everyone. If no one can win, if I can't win, then no one else can. So now I'm going to go for a nice and powerful self-destruct, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I go for a self-destruct. I knew I had full health, but I'm not gonna deal without that. That was just a mess. So fortunately enough, I do take out this silly Celebi, and at this point I do believe the only thing he has left is that Vaporeon, which I know I can go ahead and get rid of very easily with my Breaking Boss because like I said, I have some speed investment and I know that I'm faster than this thing already. So now I'm going to be going for a nice and powerful Earthquake, which will go ahead and KO this Vaporeon indicatively. So that was the end of the 3rd gen battle. Like I said, it was pretty fantastic. It wasn't even supposed to be a team that was good as this one. It was supposed to be some messed up Sun team, but it didn't even work out, so whatever. I guess next time I can do one anyway. But anyway, this has been AceStarThe3rd. Be sure to like if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, comment if you're cool, subscribe if you haven't, share if you have the balls, and favorite if you're a Fortress. I made a top 5 Nancy movesets video. I want you guys to please go ahead and check that out. It'll be in the outro this time, and next time I'll upload, it'll probably be either Showdown or it'll be an X and Y Wi-Fi battle, so don't expect 3rd Gen to be my next upload, because it's now a part of the schedule where I upload some X and Y, because I know you guys like seeing that. So, this has been AceStarThe3rd. I'm supposed to give shoutouts. I'm getting a shout out to someone named Slay or something, but I forgot the rest of the name, so I'm just gonna call you Zay because people call you Zay on Showdown. Shout out to HydroMaster1. I'll put him in the description because I like Hydro and he's fantastic, and he tries to act black all the time, and I appreciate that because he's trying to keep culture alive, and I think that's beautiful. And then there's Togion, and Togion's Asian, but he doesn't speak any Chinese around me because he's a bitch. So I decided that this has been AceStarThe3rd. Have a wonderful day. Be sure to be safe in the world because the world is dangerous. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.